Coach, first of all, we don't know anything about you at all. So can you please introduce yourself and what exactly you're doing in Nepal and why are you associated with this Karnali province team?
All right, yeah, my name is Ferraro, so I'm a South African. Played my cricket in South Africa for about 12 years in the Premier League. So I'm married with 3 children. We've been living in Nepal for the past over 3 years. And I actually live in Surkhet in the western part. I'm planting coffee out in Dailek. To bring up society, and hopefully we can export our coffee out to back to South Africa or to places where our coffee would be much appreciated and developing society. Yeah, why cricket? Well, I never thought I'd be involved in cricket again in any way. It's been 15 years since I've played any cricket, and at the KPL about 2 years ago in Surkhet, I found the guys playing in the square, and I went down to Rabindra, the captain, said to him, "Listen, what's happening up here?" and how things happening. We started to just develop some relationship, and it's 2 years later I found out they don't have a coach or somebody that can mentor and guide them, and I saw the gap in there, and I thought, well, my experience could help the guys in any way, and I just offered my services. And Sir Padam and Casey, they said, yeah, well, if you have the time, come with the team and take them along. And so it's been a great journey for us, and a sweet victory today, the first PM Cup.
So this is the story of the first win that Karnali has ever registered, and the way they played, we can see that there's been a change, a great change, to be honest. So how did you bring about this change, and how long did it to come to this period?
Yeah, I think if you ask me, I remember I was 21 years old when Sri Lanka won that World Cup. We've got Dave Watmore coming here. He was the guy that coached that team, and that spoke a lot into my life. How he built that team together, got that team playing together. And I know we're coming from Karnali. People don't expect us to do much here. We don't have much. But if we can get our teams together, if we can start believing in each other, bowling for each other, batting for each other, and start doing what Sri Lanka did in the 1996 final, then we could move towards success. I'm not saying winning a PM Cup, that will be a little bit unrealistic, but getting our first wins on the way, and I think we've succeeded in that today.
What were the challenges that you faced while bringing this team into a proper unit?
Well, I think first of all, from a physical point of view, from just practicing, I think we don't have a proper net, so we are good net practice. We have concrete slabs, and so you get into different styles. So what we had to do is to take them out to Kualpur to a real pitch where we can actually really play with the slow tracks are a little bit slow and just work a bit on it. We actually worked a lot on it yesterday as well, just a little bit of slower bowling and how to move the balls around. And just getting ourselves to believe that we can play those shots. We've got the talent. We just got to practice it. And so we're on the journey at it.
So against Army in the first game, we saw Ravindra was the only one who contributed to the team, and the batting collapsed. But today it was a different story. You had a good partnership in the beginning, and in the middle you looked like you were going to lose it, but again you held up lead right. So what was the plan when you had 205 on the board?
Right. Well, from the beginning, we wanted to say we want to bat 50 overs through, and we want to use only 7 or 8 batsmen for today. And I think that's a sign of a team getting together. Is when we lost Nishal and Ravindra for not much runs. It's our middle order that pushed it through, and usually with Karnali, that's usually where we totally faded in the past. So I've heard. So I think that's the whole thing, is to get the guys to believe, listen, we can play this game, we can move it through. So it's really talking to each other, saying that we can believe it, and not looking at 204, but looking at 10 runs, 20 runs, 30 runs, rather break the 200 runs down to smaller targets and then work our way up. And as long as we can rotate the strike, we'll get there.
What would you do after you leave Kathmandu following the conclusion of this PM Cup? What would you do?
Well, I think it's back for me, back to Surkhet, back to my coffee farm and looking after the coffee. But I think where I am at right now, no problem, but I think I would love to be a little bit more involved in Surkhet. And I would love to know on a bigger scale what's happening in Nepal with the development of cricket. And especially in our province, in Karnali. That's where my heart is, that's where I live. So I would love to see more younger guys coming out and be developed over there. And how we're going to do that, I'm not sure. I think we'll have to talk with the